We are here at ICE Barcelona 2026. I'm really excited to share with you. We have launched a special series in marketing, which is called Marketing Decoded, where we interview the best and the top iGaming B2B CMOs as well as marketing leaders. B2B iGaming marketing has been evolving very fast. New formats, new channels, new expectations from the leadership team. And this is why we have created Marketing Decoded to decode the strategies as well as the workings behind the best marketing companies in B2B iGaming. This project is brought to you by Excellent Expo, a reliable stand partner for creating Excellent Expo presence. Today we have Märit here from Alea, who is the head of PR and communications at Alea. So Märit, welcome to the show. This is the first one we're doing it. So we're really glad to have you here.
Thank you for having me. Honestly, it's quite fun, sort of a busy show like ICE, where we're having a lot of conversation about our products and everything else, to just talk a little bit about what's going on behind the scenes. And I'm very glad to be here.
Yes, and to start off, if we look at communication strategy, a lot of things have been going on. We have a lot of events, shows. So if you look at Alea's communications and PR strategy, what are the core elements as such?
I would say that the nice thing about Alea is that its core, it's a very simple product, which is a very simple message. We are, first and foremost, the game aggregator. We do one thing very well. We provide 17,000 games with over 170 providers to our partners and to our operators and to platforms. From that, obviously, we've now sort of built a nice little ecosystem of product that you get from the aggregation.
I mean, what you're saying is to keep it simple, to have a clear positioning, and then whatever the other verticals, they can come behind that. But Alea is known for being the aggregator, right? So that's what I'm hearing from this session.
We're not trying to compete with other platforms. We're not trying. We come from a position of having been operators ourselves. So way back in the day, this was built because Alea was an operator and we needed an aggregation system that we could trust. That then turned into the game aggregation that we know today. So we know the pains of operators. We know what they've been through. We know how difficult it is to find a partner that they can trust, and a tech partner in a little bit more than just like, here's all the content, here's everything. Mm-hmm. It's about like, okay, we have a worldview of what iGaming is doing in terms of the gates. So now let me show you, like our account managers through the operators, all the platforms that we sort of go with, which games work well in which markets. Also, because if you start going like, yes, I have 10,000 million games, fantastic. Yeah. But like in the same B2B as there is a B2C, there is a lot of content facet, even with players. I actually come from an affiliate background, so I sort of moved from like that B2C to B2B. So I know that now it's almost impossible to cut through the noise, especially as a game provider. So we kind of work both ways. We have account managers with our game providers. We have account managers for our operators, and we kind of sort of are the go-between, showing each one and each side the correct clients and the connections to make themselves more valuable in the countries that they're in, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, definitely. And Alex is great at personal branding. He does a lot of podcasts. Yes. He does a lot of appearances. We see him a lot on LinkedIn. And, how do you kind of like measure the activity that he does in podcasts to kind of like bringing revenue or bringing growth? Do you do any sort of things?
I think with Alex, so we do a lot of founder-led thing, it's true. I think with that specific part, I think that's a lot more branding, a lot more PR than sort of lead generation.
Yeah.
There's 63,000 people. It seems crazy for me to say that this industry is small, but it is small. Yeah. And a lot of the business is done sort of like based on trust. So this is where sort of this founder-led marketing comes in, which is the fact that we are building that trust. That first, sort of like messaging gateway where you're like, okay, we know who Alea is because we've seen your founder that looks after your people. We care our employees. We care for our partners like we care for our employees. We have a hyperbaric chamber and an oxygen bar here, not because it's a gimmick, but because we genuinely feel like, come and like look after yourself. We look after you. Come and look after yourself at Alea. If you want to go to the booths and do other things with the others, that's fine. But Alex is like that first gateway of trust, that first gateway of messaging, where he is like, yeah, we are good people, is at the core. And what we craft is incredibly well because the people who work at Alea care.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because in this industry, like, you know, this is iGaming. We're not changing the world. So trying to get people motivated to care about not just online gambling, but about game aggregation, which is like a very technical sort of aspect of the business. You know, it's the plumbing.
Yeah.
So essentially, it's the plumbing of the iGaming world. You need to get them to aspire to something more.
Yeah.
And that includes in the people that work at Alea who actually want to craft something of value because they feel valued, and as well as our partners who actually go, okay, well, Alea is going to look after me. It is just the plumbing. We should be invisible, but they're going to look after me.
Is the entry to get in tough for people because you have set such a high bar?
I don't know if we're difficult to get in. I think that there is quite there's a cultural aspect to the company, which most people don't expect. They come in and they say like, look, these are my skills. Yeah. And they're amazing. What they don't expect actually, and what most people don't know, is that every single person that comes through Alea ends with a founder interview. Oh. And that's not just with Alex, that's also with Charlotte.
Yeah, I watched her video. 5 years of Alea,
yeah. The co-founders to Alea. And they both sit down with the final candidate and they don't necessarily talk about business. So it's not something that will rush into it. Yeah. Like, maybe we have a little bit of a reputation that like we overcare in terms of like what we do and how we sort of put in our partners. But in the end, it pays off because once sort of like you start working with us, you realize it's a really nice and good way to work.
You know, we have a lot of events in the calendar year. We go to a lot of events as well. Like, how do you really ensure that the stands out? This is like the most interesting thing, right? Because there's like 600 exhibitors. What do you do to make sure that Alea stands out in terms of the stand presence?
We like to create something a little bit different.
Experience.
Yeah, I mean, one, we have the people. So that's the biggest selling point is like the people here are kind. They want to sort of like get to know you. They're not trying to like oversell you. Yeah. And two,
to connect.
Yeah. And two, we sort of really focus on like showcasing our culture. Yeah. And that includes sort of things like with the oxygen bar or with the hyperbaric chamber, which sort of brings out that sort of wellness culture and aspect.
What part of your role do you enjoy the most? I know there's a lot of things going on. Alea is a big brand. There's a lot of people. There's got to be something that you enjoy more than others in terms of like doing strategy or tasks or something.
I'm gonna admit that I'm a storyteller.
Okay.
This is my true love. I enjoy very much sort of like obviously the sort of more structural aspect of my job, so the strategy, but there is a part of me that just enjoys being able to sort of find managing and just being able to just.
That's amazing.
If by the end of the day, I've been at Alea almost a year, and I have found that as the year has progressed, more and more people are coming, like magazines and sort of articles and journalists are coming to me, and they're giving me articles where I don't actually have to give notes. Yeah. It's like at the end of the day, it's like the third act of any good story should be the same. Yeah. Should be what the brand is. Yeah. Then trying to sort of find different ways to sell Act 1 and Act 2 so that people eventually find you and get to that Act 3. That for me is really exciting. That's a lot of fun. It's like, what are the different angles? What are the different ways that I can get you to be excited about my brand, about my story, about the story of Alea and the story of its people?
And since you mentioned story, like I want to ask about the Alea goddess. I'm not sure if I'm like saying the name correctly. So what's the story behind Alea Goddess? Is she Alea Goddess, first of all?
She is the Alea goddess. So Alea in Latin means luck.
Luck, okay.
So she is our goddess of luck.
Goddess of luck, okay.
And she was crafted when we moved from the B2C to the B2B.
Okay.
Alice can tell this, Tomic can tell the story with much more eloquence, I'm not gonna lie. But she was crafted out of like that sort of transition period of one to the other. What you don't see, and what most people don't notice at first, is that she's actually wearing a mask.
Oh.
Because she's an interdimensional being.
Oh, wow.
So when you take out the mask, there's something a little bit dark about her. But then she puts this beautiful form of like the goddess of luck. And she brings us all, hopefully.
What do you think is going to be important in 2026 and beyond from the trends perspective? Any new things you're seeing? Do you think that podcasts are going to be taking over as the alternative PR channel? How do you see the trends at the moment?
I mean, especially the B2B, it's kind of heading the B2C way, which is like everyone is posting everything. It's a little bit of, it's honestly, it's content fatigue.
Yeah.
We are getting to a point where there is no way that we can all watch every podcast, that we can all read every article. Which is kind of sort of what we've been trying to do with the Under Pressure podcast. So we're trying to bring back a little bit of that sort of must-watch, like everyone talk about moments. That isn't sort of like just because I mean, there's nothing wrong with going either way. You can just like be everywhere, which is part of the strategy. But then you need to be able to sort of have these key moments where people are going like take the time to create like that must-watch. Like
Definitely, because visibility just for the sake of visibility isn't enough. You need to have some kind of substance, right? Like you're doing it through different ways. And since we are almost by the end of the interview, I understood the core elements right now. You have a story with the goddess. You have elements in terms of like the experience you provide at the stands. You take care of people, which is the main focus. So, and you have a single messaging focus, which is pure aggregator, right? So, it's clear from what we are seeing here.
Oh, wonderful. I'm glad that you understand our messaging. It means that I still have my job this year.
Well, I mean, this is what I also try to do to see what's going on with different brands. And this is why we are here as well in this Marketing Decoded series. This is Marketing Decoded with Märit from Alea. Again, Märit, thank you so much for joining us and sharing everything how Alea is doing.
Thank you so much for coming and doing this with us. It was a real pleasure.